Well, good morning, y'all. Are you ready to wake up? Come on. You can do it. Wake yourself up. Good. He's like, do I really have to? Well, we are going to learn to engage at every stage. Are you ready? All right. Morning, everybody. Well, let's find our compass today. Well, let me introduce myself first, and I want to find out who's here today as well. I'm Corinne Hosisington. So everybody say, hey, Corinne. Hey, Corinne. I have you speaking Virginian already. I've been teaching 28 years. Do not do the math. You start to have to grab numbers, drag them down. It just gets gruesome. So as we go along. I'm a IT professor in Virginia at Central Virginia Community College, and I have an amazing thing to announce. My amazing thing is I gave exams yesterday. Everybody give me a quick wahoo. But I hear something about midterms around here. Sound familiar? Have the students begun the begging process, right? I'm amazed. My emails began last night on the plane. I starting to get, I haven't been there since February. Have I missed anything? No, we stopped right then and there without you and have not continued further. We've missed you dreadfully. So it's always an exciting time. But, we want to learn on Monday morning when we go back in the classroom, in our case Thursday morning, to engage at every stage. And what are some of the fun things that we can do? And we're not going to get heavy level technology, but technology gives us a new way to connect to our students because your students are packing. You say, what do you mean they're packing? They all have these devices. Is this not right? And instead of walking into a classroom and saying, hello, could you please put these away? This is a distraction in my classroom. Maybe we could find a way to use it in the classroom. I always tell the students the first day of class, I said, this is my class, and if this rings and disturbs my class, I will answer it. So I set that up the very first day, and of course, very quickly, a student's phone goes off very first day. I'm going to show you how to answer it if it does ring in your class, right? So, hello, yeah? Yeah, who is this? Oh, you're his wife. Well, that's funny. I'm his girlfriend. It's funny, the students very quickly turn these things off. And, you say, well, by the way, make sure you turn their phone off at that time. Oddly enough, the people typically call back. So just to talk to you, I don't know. But you won't have your phone on again, correct? Yeah. So I tell them, put it on vibrate, but we are going to use and engage some of this new technology. And I also write a few books here and there, but enough about that. So it's time to move forward, and I'm convinced that sometimes teaching is a battle. Please tell me, every once in a while, one student gets under your craw a little bit, yeah? Everybody thinking of somebody right now? You get that email, and instead of going, oh, how can I help? You're like, oh, no. So we really are always trying to move forward, doing the right thing, being positive, but sometimes it can be a little frustrating. It's kind of like this.
What are you doing? Playing the rebel stuff. You're ruining the entire Civil War reenactment. I know it's the wrong war and all, but I guess we're dealing eBay. Wow, that's aesthetic. Pretty sure you're right. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, hey, I love the lace. Look at this embroidery. It's just so gorgeous. It's the wrong century.
Isn't the truth? You always have someone, when you try to do something new in your class, other faculty will be like, we've always done it this way. If you do all this engaging activity stuff in your class, you're going to make me look bad. Consider that we have two teachers who've always got the best evaluations ever. And if one of them suddenly puts all this cool stuff in his class, when I'm taking both their classes, I'm going to give him kudos. At the end of the semester on my evaluation as a student, I'm going to write, oh, he was engaging, enthralling. We did all these cool things. And now if she's just lecturing, what will we say suddenly about her? Boring. Get a life. Could you make a connection with us somehow? And she's kind of shocked looking at the evaluations because for years they're always glowing. And she says, I'm doing the same thing. Why have my evaluations changed? Because we're doing the same thing. So how can we move forward, maybe get up on that segue a little bit to move forward? So I want you to look at this picture as getting started here, as we're going to do a lot of activities in a moment. That first picture was taken 8-9 years ago. It was when the previous pope was being ordained in Rome. And if you notice in the crowd, does anybody see any piece of technology up there? Point to me. Everybody see one little flip phone? Anyone still own this flip phone? Okay. So you're like, I got that one. Okay. Maybe they were taking a quick picture at the time. But last year when Pope Francis was ordained, same exact room, but those are not candles. What are they? They're phones and iPads and every imaginable device. And my question to you is this. If the world has changed that dramatically in the last 8 or 9 years, have our classrooms changed as well? Or walking around going, put it away! Because they're soon going to look at us because every high school in Nebraska is starting to get one-to-one computers. 1 in 6 schools in Nebraska already have computers where every student, 9th through 12th, has a device that they use for everything in class. Not just taking notes. Their books are on board. Their activities are on board. They do their homework that way. Everything is engaging. And then they walk into college and we say, put it away. And they're looking at you going, no. Respectfully, this is how I learn. So how can, if the world's changed in these last decade, if you would, how can we make some of the same changes in our neck of the woods? So I want to start out with this. Whether you're teaching online or face-to-face or blended in between, I think the moment that class begins at the beginning of the week or in front of, when that bell rings at 8:30, we don't do bells either, but if you hear them, maybe it's time to go. I'm going to call this a bell ringer activity. It's how do you get your class started? And here's how most teachers get their classes started. Okay, turn to page 73. I've got a dynamic lecture. If I had started the event at 8:30 with that same tonality, how many would have come up with a dentist appointment by 9:30? You're like, toothache. All of you have toothaches? Yes, but I had mine first, right? So we would have all had that moment. What's another way to start class? Let's erase that way. Let's say I'm face-to-face and the students have just come in, the bell's about to ring, and instead of page 73, let me say this. Hey class, do y'all remember the 3 little pigs? Do y'all remember them? Okay, tell me real quick. How many pigs were there? 3. Who was the bad guy?
The wolf.
The wolf. And what did that wolf do? He blew the houses down. How did he do it? Yes. Yeah, he huffed and he puffed. We all know that story. But everybody, today, we're going to be talking about social media in class. So today, with social media, 3 little pigs would have been quite different. Let me introduce you, class, as you sit down and get started. 3 Little Pigs of 2014.
So the spotlight is once again shone on the grey area of homeowners
everyone would want their voice heard. CSI would arrive. We would do surveys online to get public opinion. Asthma? Conspiracy theories.
There's no reason why those two houses, one made from straw, the other from wood, should have collapsed. I mean, a healthy wolf suffered rough to bring them down.
For 3 years, I've confessed to conspiring to commit insurance fraud, framing the wolf in an attempt to cover their tracks. Their motive was financial, as they struggled to keep up with their mortgage repayments.
Oh, man. Wake up and smell the bacon, people. Let's get started, class. Any difference in the page 73 diatribe? I think if we can capture their attention in the first, that only took 70 seconds. You say, oh, I got a busy class, I got a lot to do. Yeah, the very first thing you need to do is capture their attention. You say, well, Corinne, this topic wouldn't work for me. Yeah, we all teach different things, obviously. But the point is, there is some really cool multimedia at YouTube or TeacherTube, something in your field. You say, well, is it directly related to my objective of the day? Even if it's loosely related to your objective, maybe it could be career-based. What kind of jobs are happening in your field? Every class, you need to think to yourself, what can I do in that first minute to somehow capture their imagination, get their creativity flowing? Because if I can capture it that first moment, maybe, just maybe, I might be able to keep it. Yes? So real quick, throughout this morning, I'm going to throw it back to you a little bit. Just as an idea, what is something that you could show in your field to get everybody else thinking that would get them going? So I need 3 people to come up with an idea or I'm not moving forward. So pop it in. Who's ready to go? Go for it.
I got a real good one this morning from my boss. It was, he said, have you worked with any of these people? And it's kind of long, but there's about 10 different accidents and very kind of hilarious. Wheelbarrow down a ramp, it hits the nose, the guy goes over.
And you teach?
Diesel technology.
Oh, so therefore, yeah, this would be very relatable.
So safety related.
Safety related.
And
Excellent.
There's tons of that. Forklift training. There's the top 10 forklift crashes. They go over brakes.
Wouldn't they love that? That would be great. I think I'm changing my major. What do you think?
And that's all free.
It's all free, and it's something that would even can be funny to capture their attention. Love that one. If you could just have a forklift crash every class and go with it, man, they would get to class on time just to see that part. They would. You know they would. Hey, love that one. And you're like, oh, man, I can't compare to that. Who's the second idea? Yes?
I have a video I showed during our discussion on the brain and traumatic brain injuries, but it's young men in accidents, and it really catches them.
Wow.
Snowboarding accidents and how we've changed, like, with the YouTube generation of
Yeah.
and all these things.
Yeah. So we see all this happening. People think they're just playing around, and they end up taping a dramatic situation. Yeah, but no, but again, that's something relatable because of their age and also to your field perfectly. Again, grabs that attention. I need one more before I continue. Yes?
Just this week, it is actually is Nurses Week. So we
Oh,
had
yeah.
a celebration with our students on Monday, and we played, and I was doing something else, but there's a song, I Am a Nurse, and I think it's sung by some country singer. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. So that was a really brief song, and
Yeah.
that on and then all the students sang along with it, so it gets them going.
Absolutely. And that's, you say, well, Corinne, I teach online. How would this work? I think there's always a way to start the class online. have this moment that you get them started, introduce the topic. You say, no, they don't watch anything you don't require. We're going to find out how to make sure they, no matter what you require, that they actually watch. We'll go there soon. So get their juices running, if you would. And I think it's just like anything else. There's, most TV shows always start with some dramatic teaser at the beginning. Even every book does. Why doesn't every classroom do the same? So I'm going to get you all going here in a little bit. So what I want you to do is I've got some cool toys with me today as well. So I'm going to jump into this real quick. I want often students to get involved in what we're doing. I think it's so often like this. If it's true that the best thing students can learn in school is how to learn, then isn't the best thing that a school can learn from students is how to change? They're looking at us going, okay, I really want to get into what you're talking about. A lot of times they're majoring in our fields. Could you really find a way to connect with me in a new and passionate way? So what I want to show you here, we'll just start with something very simple. You might have seen this one before, long address, but I see a lot of you with devices. So if everybody would open your devices and open a browser. So smartphones work here. Some of you say, I didn't bring a device. Just look over to your neighbor and see what they're doing. No battery? I know, you got to get some cords in here. So what I'd like you to do is open up your browser if you have one. If you don't, that's cool. You can just kind of watch what's happening here. And we're going to find out who's in the house today. I want to get you all to introduce yourselves. And we're going to a website called Padlet.com /my last name with a C1 on the end /SCC 2014. That's a long one today. So I'll give you a chance to type all of that in. Make sure you don't Google it, that you actually type it in to the address bar at the top. What I like to do at the beginning of my classes is get the students to identify who they are, take pictures, tell something about themselves. Because unless we make the class feel like a community, I think we're doing the students a disservice. And I have to tell you something. When students are that top 5% of students, your valedictorians, they often go to the University of Nebraska and so forth. Typically, they are used to be very sociable. But I teach at a community college like you do, and a lot of times our students, they're coming from such different worlds than each other that they're not terribly sociable at the beginning of a class. Does that sound familiar to you? Sometimes their social skills aren't great, and they really crave even more than anyone else to make that sense of community. So, who's actually getting to the site and you're seeing a wave? It's working for people. How can we get everybody else there? Ask your neighbor to help you out and get everybody there. Now, let me show you what we're going to do with this. So I'm going to join you at that site. So what it allows you to do on any device in your class, Padlet allows everyone to type something in. So everybody type in your first and last name and what you teach. If you're not on the list, that's okay. So we've got Alina Pierce, Where the World of Pharmacy and Psychology Collide. Loving that. Okay, Steve Boers is a customer service instructor. Karen Hermson is going to tell me in a moment. Linda Hartman says, hey. So it allows anyone just to double tap and start to click. But let me give you some ideas here of what we could do with it. So everybody, let's see. Sharon Wren and Susan Pallas. Am I saying Pallas correct? Yes, good, good, good. Terry Tiedemann is business administration. Gary's in the house. Sharon Wren is a trauma fixer. Ooh, that's a good title. What does that mean? Help me. What's a trauma fixer? Sharon? No? Yeah. What's just anything that goes wrong. Surgical, so that's it. Trauma fixer, love it. Okay. Gary Benson, economics and marketing. Lester teaches paper. No. He brought with his paper and flip phone. Very good. That's okay. Your students will, so no problem here. Maybe they won't. But a lot of times our students, especially students of our age group, which we still have a lot of, definitely, sometimes I hear teachers say, well, I don't want to make them use technology, they're not comfortable with it. Today, 98% of jobs use technology in some fashion. So part of learning our fields, they also have to be exposed to technology. Quick story of my own, I have 6 children, and my oldest daughter graduated as an RN, a nurse. She actually got a BSN. And her school, and I won't say which one in Virginia, when she showed up, the very first day they gave her all these devices. You know, she has to scan in the patient information, pharmaceuticals, all these computer devices. She came home in tears. She says, Mom, even with you being a computer person, I've never enjoyed technology. We didn't use technology at school. Everything was handwritten papers. And look what I have to do. I'm going to lose my job if I'm not comfortable with this. So I think even more so with our adult students, making sure they get exposed to technology while they're here. Now, this is great to get all the students involved, but most of your devices have cameras. So everybody, it's selfie time. What's selfie mean? And not everybody has a device with a picture, so you're going to go around, and I need everyone who has a camera to make sure you visit tables that don't have one and take pictures of everybody here. We're going to have everybody's picture up here. Is anyone part of the, the government's, you're under the secret protection program? Everybody okay? So how do we do that? Let me just show you up here if you have a device. If you just double tap on your screen that has a camera, click this up arrow right here. It allows you to take a quick little picture. So you can double tap right here and post a picture of yourself or an old picture of yourself. So we can get any kind of pictures up here. And this is a great way to find out all of your students who are taking your classes. So let's get some pictures up there. Get them all loaded. And this page stays up forever. So if you had students take pictures of themselves the first day of class or even online, you could learn their names. I don't know about you, but 200, 300 names, it just gets tough on me now. So if you would, let's go around and get some pictures. Double tap, hit an up arrow, and let's get some pictures. Oh, there we go. We have, who's this fine gentleman right here? Steve, that's a good one. We've got a picture of Steve up there. Not seen you in this tie before, Steve. Didn't even recognize you. Okay. So everybody else, let's get some more pictures up here. Look at this. Great selfie of the day. Nice one. Whoops, I had it. Where'd it go? Oh, she deleted. It was a good one. Okay, here we've got some pictures. You can photobomb people too as well. So we can put pictures up here. I'll show you real quickly how to make something like this, but some of you I know have seen this technology before. Get some pictures up here, everybody. Let's get a few more. So I see cameras up. If you want to move around and click some other tables so we get everybody's picture up here. There, she's getting it up. Are you up here? I want everybody with a picture. Here they come. And if a student were to post something inappropriate, there is a little trash can symbol that you can delete things just in case. Ah, look at Sharon right there. Got her picture up. Very nice. That's a good one. Let's get a few more pictures as we go here. Y'all get, they're passing devices around. We as women are deciding if we like the picture enough to post it or not. Yeah, how it goes. We're tough on ourselves, man. Now, let me give you some ideas while you all are posting of what we can do with the technology like Padlet, but we've got so many more technologies today by far. With Padlet, I love it for introductions like we've stated, but a lot of times it's great to display student work. Some of our classes, if they're, for example, they're a nurse and they're creating their first needle and doing their first draw, and they could actually take pictures of the steps and post how it went for them. Everyone could see that. They're in art class, they could actually take a picture of their work that they've created. They're a diesel mechanic. When you take that engine apart and say put it back together again, they could take pictures to show what went right or maybe what went wrong. We have all these things that they can show off their work, and so often we don't expect students to show or be, often show off their work. Very good picture there. Look at that. She's like, I'm smiling. Think about it. 99% of student work done at a college is turned into you and not ever seen by their peers. You say, well, it shouldn't be seen by their peers. Well, shouldn't it? Shouldn't some of their work that they do kind of get to show off? Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a business teacher and the students are creating a resume. You can actually post any kind of documents, Word documents, PowerPoints in this environment, and everybody, after they turn in their resumes to you, could show each other what they did and get some ideas of different aspects of that work. You can even put up web pages, maybe as an idea in a class. Let's say I had my students all go out to YouTube and I told them this. I want you to go out and find a video of a new invention happening right now in your field. So let's say one of my students typed in 3D pen. And the students go out and find this video of this new invention that's hitting the market right here, this magical 3D pen. So the student could then take this video right here. Let me play just a couple seconds of it. This new magical 3D pen that's coming out. If we can get past the advertisement here in a second. Oh, toothpaste. Don't you love that with all the ads all the time? But we'll be able to take this particular video here and actually put it in a Padlet. Let me show you how. So in just a couple seconds, here is the actual 3D pen right here. So people can now draw using these 3D pens. Let's check it out.
And create real objects. The 3D Doodler is the world's first and only 3D drawing pen. It's been designed to be compact.
Do you see how it goes up?
No software, no computers. You just plug it in and can start drawing anything within minutes. The beauty of 3D Doodler is how simple it is. Everyone knows how to use a pen, so we designed a 3D printing pen.
So if you see your students writing in the air. And some of the work that they've created, isn't that great?
To heat and cool plastic as it passes through the body of the pen. Just like a 3D printer, the plastic cools rapidly and becomes hard.
So let's say I tell the students to find an invention that's happening in our field today. They could just take this link right here, copy it, right-click and copy, pull it into Padlet. All they have to do, by the way, good picture. We got some more pictures here. Good one. Get all these pictures out here. Oh, here's another one. Good one. So all you have to do is click right here and pick link, paste this link in, and now we actually have a video that can be played right inside of Padlet. So if the student clicks right here, we can play any of these videos in full screen. So we can see these pictures by just clicking on them in a larger screen right here. And if we come across this video in a moment, when we click the video, great pictures, look at these. Good Steve. Oh, good Sharon. Good Glenn. That's a good one too. So when we come across in just a second of that little video that we posted right there, it will actually play right on the screen here in a moment. So I've got to open that one more time, but we can go that direction too. So we now have the students find all the videos that they find in class. So remember that video right here? Now they can play it. You could have everyone find a new invention, and then you can play the videos all together. So Padlet, how did I make it? Let me just show it to you very briefly. We'll get into some other technologies that are maybe newer for you in a moment. But you can just go to Padlet.com, so write that down. And at Padlet.com, you can create a free account, and it allows you just to create a wall. It's all ready. You say, well, it's all ready? All you have to remember when you go to Padlet.com and create a free account is follow the yellow brick road. You say, what? Click the yellow stuff. So what should we click on right here on this screen? Modify wall. So a couple minutes before class starts, I could put up a question such as, where are jobs growing in our field? And they would have to go look up answers, maybe find videos and post those. They can go down this yellow brick road on the right and pick things like wallpaper. If I'm covering something about going green or the big city or Valentine's Day, I could pick some great backgrounds like that diesel engine, steam engine in this case, and put a wallpaper up, and you can even pick your own address. You can pick any name, like today I picked SCC 2014. You say, well, how long is that wall up? Till the end of time. I make a different one for each section, get the students engaged in this. Now I know a couple of you used Padlet before because you've been to one of my sessions, so I'm pushing it back on you. I need 2 people to tell me how you've used Padlet different in class than we've talked about and how it's working for you. Go.
We did a scavenger hunt the first week of class, and I teach visual merchandising. So they had to go around campus and find pictures of bulletin boards or displays or anything anywhere, and then they posted. They came back to the classroom. They were gone like 10 minutes maybe. Came back and posted like good and bad, and we talked about signage and directional signage, and there's some interesting ones on here.
Isn't that cool? Did y'all get that? Right on campus. Instead of, she could have spent 10 minutes and going, the correct way to market a product is.
Some of these are pretty good.
But through that, don't you think they learned a lot more through engaging in the process than they would have ever learned in lecture? I'm sure she's a great lecturer, but getting the students involved in it. Actually, back to nursing, my daughter's teacher did one time in class where they went out and took pictures of patients who gave them permission to use it for class, and they actually recorded with their little phones video how they were feeling this morning. They were just using it for educational purposes, and then they put a password on it so no one else could see it with HIPAA laws. But they actually got that, okay, what is she trying to tell you? What is that patient saying to you? And what can we get out of that experience? There's something more rich in that. One more.
I used it with the YouTube, or say in finance, we're doing a chapter on credit. So I said, okay, you two are doing bankruptcy, you two are doing payday loans. Go out there, find a YouTube that explains it, post it, and then you're going to teach it to the class.
Isn't that great? And the students love media. And you say, well, how about if they don't say the right things exactly? You're still there as a coach to add those pieces and parts that are missing. But they come up with some great things, and I think we all pick up something along the way.
The other good thing is that you can filter it, because I found out the first time I used it and they were putting all kinds of smart aleck things out there. I then learned how to use the filter where I allowed it to show up in front of the class.
That's kind of fair. Any other item, please?
I have a question.
Sure.
Next quarter, I'm teaching a totally online class.
Sure.
How can I use Padlet to engage students that I never see?
Even easier, because you could take the link of the page you create and put it in your discussion board area. Instead of having a discussion board that's like, please read this 14-page article and post your thoughts of what you've read, instead that you could have questions like, give me a topic that you teach.
Customer service and customer turnoffs.
Okay. Let's go out to YouTube, and I want you to find videos of customer turnoffs. What are some things that went wrong? People record everything nowadays. And then let's go in, and you must comment what kind of customer service experience each of these videos had. So in Padlet, they'd have all of these items posted, all these videos of customer service turnoffs. Then they would go in their discussion board and they would have to say, well, in John's video, they would have to comment on everybody's video. And now they've watched an hour of customer experience situations and actually thought them through in a critical thinking way. So many things, it's so hard typically just to post a link and then try to click it. With all those videos on the screen, it would be so much more of an engaging activity. Make sense? So, what are some other ways we can kind of get our students involved? I want to show you another very, very easy technology. This one I'm going to have you predominantly watch, but I've got some pictures of Lincoln that are about to show up of some of you maybe. So what I found with students is they do react to video. And if you think about most of our courses, I think our early impressions of video is the teacher from the 1960s with a bow tie. Do you remember that experience? The talking head. Today's lecture is on the topic of, and I think we kind of decided, oh, video doesn't work. No, there's more video today. And I want you to consider giving video as an assignment that's going to be showed to all the classmates and their peers. Think about the average assignment that we do. Let's say I assign these two ladies, page 73 in the book, multiple choice. I'm an exciting kind of lady. So you both do your assignments. What is a real concern if they're close friends?
Cheating.
Yeah, sharing. It's called cheating, but it's funny how we do say sharing. And a lot of times, here's how cheating works today. It's like, oh, can I just look at yours? Yeah, that's code word for I'm going to steal all your stuff. Okay? And a lot of times, even, you know, we went to school together. Don't you care about me? You know, all this. There's a lot of peer pressure with this kind of stuff. And when they turn it into you, let's face it, the odds of you catching cheating between two teachers who are assigning page 73 or two students, it's impossible, really. So how about if you assigned whatever you're teaching this week, I want every student just to make a 30-second video on what topic you're given. So here's what I do with my class, either online or in person. I look at chapter 3. Everybody imagine what's in your chapter 3 of some book somehow. At the beginning of the week, I have all the students crack the book and grab a topic. And if it's online, they just post their topic in the discussion board. You can't pick the same topic as somebody else. Or you could have the topics written up in class. The students walk in, find a topic, put yours on the board. No duplications. So everybody has a topic. They're going to make a movie about their topic and post it. They could post it in Padlet. They could post it in discussion board in your LMS. But they're going to make it with a free tool called Animoto. Let me kind of show you what an Animoto video is, and then I'm going to make one with your crew here. So for example, we just went through Martin Luther King Day a couple months ago, and one of my students asked me, hey, professor, who's Martin Luther King? I went, what? We have a day off for it. Who is it? And I thought, how can they not know? But it's been 50 years since that momentous moment and speech. So maybe I can kind of understand why they don't know who that is. So in 30 seconds, I put together a quick little Animoto to explain who he was. And think about it. I could have talked for 30 seconds or shown this. Let's check it out. In 30 seconds, even if you had never heard this name before, I couldn't have said anything in 30 seconds that would have compared to the emotion that it invoked, the understanding, the overall picture. Maybe you could get the same if students would all take their topic and quickly make a little video. I even made one on a personal side to show you. I have my 6 children. My oldest daughter is married. I'm a grandmother. And at her wedding, you know, you take all those great pictures, but you're like, oh, how can you put it together? So with Animoto, you can throw up pictures, and just to show you if they're all not the same, let me just show you one that I took with my daughter's wedding a few years ago to kind of show you that every Animoto looks a little bit different. So again, in a minute, you get a whole different impression of what that day was like. My daughter, my other daughter, my husband, and all of our kids. Do you see how everyone's a little bit different? So let's say I was given the topic of Southeast Community College in Lincoln, Nebraska. Got it? Let me show you how the students would make a topic. So they can create a free account at a website called Animoto. Everybody say the words? Animoto. How much does it cost? Can we afford it? Free. They could then come up and hit the create button. Do y'all see? We're just going to show you how to make a very quick 30-second video. Please try it once yourself before you assign. It's always a good plan. And you get to choose any of these beautiful styles, and you saw that they were totally different. You see, Corinne, those videos looked tough. What do they take you, 8 hours, 10 hours? We're going to put one together in under 2 minutes. So they're that easy. Or you could even make one to show as a bell ringer activity, or assign one to get the students into topics to show each other. Now, the watercolor seashore, do you see that? That was the one that I used for my daughter's wedding. But there's all kinds. Let me pick this one called rustic. So I'm going to use this kind of feeling right here, and it gives you a preview. So with my pictures, this is going to be the feel of the Southeast Community College. I don't know about the alcohol. We won't have that, okay? So they can make any video. So I'll pick this one. No cost involved at all. And you say, well, after you pick the feel or the theme, if you would, of the background, how do you add pictures? Well, you can add your own pictures, your own music, and they also include tons of free music if you don't want to go looking for it. So tons of different things in here. So let me add some pictures right here. So I can pick pictures or video. So if they take some video with their cameras, they could make their own commercial in that marketing and business class. They could make their own job promotion for any kind of our fields. So I'm going to upload some pictures that I found on the web last night. So I have a little folder right here called Lincoln. And I just took a few pictures of what was going on around here. So let's see if, hopefully I got pictures from things going on here. I have one of Dreamweaver, so that was the wrong picture, but the rest will go up in a second here. So do you see some pictures around here that you may have heard of before? Ah, there we go. Some pictures loading. So hopefully we'll get those up in a second. They're all loading right there. So they just take a second. You say, how do you get pictures? You can just save them off the web. You can upload any kind of item right there. So we can grab some images right there. This one just said it was a little too small, so I'm going to delete that image right there. So now, after we get our images in here, a couple of the pictures were just a little too small, and they look a little blurry or not, so I can delete that or include it. So now with these pictures, I can include captions. Tell me what's going on here, everybody. Ribbon cutting of new section, it's called? Okay. So I could put wording in here. I could also add text anywhere. I could say right here, welcome to SCC, and put Lincoln, Nebraska. So again, the students could put terminology. They could put what they know here, put anything pieced together. You can move any of these items around so that you can have a nice little effect. You can add any kind of pictures. And let's go ahead and preview what we've got going on here. I'll just call it SCC as our title. So in under 2 minutes, we already have a video that's going to play here in just under a half minute. And the students, you can actually download these videos when you're done and they can post them in any of your online courses or anywhere. So that way we can kind of see that. So let's see our finished movie of today. Took us under 2 minutes to make. The internet's slowing down a little bit. Let me just start it from the beginning. Let me start it from the beginning so we don't get the choppiness. Go ahead. Come on, internet, play with me nicely. Doesn't it look like I spent months making this? Okay, marketing teacher, does it do okay? What do you think in 30 seconds? You know, again, these are not only teaching our content, but most of our students are going to end up being an entrepreneur, work for someone, learn to market themselves as well as their business. If we're teaching them tools along the way, I think in a bigger picture, it really helps them. But back to my two students. Remember they had cheated on each other's, multiple choice on page 73? Now I give her the topic in my business class. Maybe you're talking about how to market on Facebook as your topic, and your topic is how to market on Twitter. So they're now given two separate topics. Are they going to have trouble cheating now? I might notice now if they turn in the same work. Obviously, if I don't, something's clearly wrong with my grading skills. I've shut off. And now, I don't mind them saying to each other, hey, could you show me how to do this? That's cool. But they're coming up with their own ideas, their own thoughts. And what about in a traditional class, allowing everyone to put up their 30-second video real quick, and it shows honor in what they're doing. When things are turned into you, I hate to tell you this, but they really don't care about what you think of them. So the question is, how can we get them kind of to connect? They want to show pride in their work. If you know that your work is going to go in front of the entire class on Thursday, will you put more effort in than if it's just to the teacher? Absolutely. And that way, you can get a nice review before the test of everyone's topic out of Chapter 3. But in a fun, more motivational way. What do you think of the ease of it? Pretty easy to do? So you could show them what they're going to make, and you say, yeah, but I just give quizzes for assignments. How's that working? If we can get the students to participate in more of an active learning pattern, then I think it's a lot more appropriate. To finish it up, they just click Produce right here. When they go to Produce, that allows them to download it to their local computer. Then they can do anything that they want with it. So now you can email it to yourself. You could post it on Facebook. We could tweet it. You could download it. You could just put a link. They could email you the link so you can watch their video. So however you want to do to finish this, and it finishes it, it produces it. You can now make it full screen. And now here we've got a great little finished product. That's making me hungry. What do you think? So really quick, ideas for Animoto, anybody? I need 2 ideas of how you might use this in your class. How could you use Animoto? Ideas? If you haven't come up with one yet, I'm looking at you. Yes?
My program, when students join my program, they're kind of like family for 5 quarters. So they get very close, but the first few weeks they really won't talk to each other. So
Mine
on
too.
the orientation, where we all come together and learn about the course, I could snap a picture of each person's face. And then I could create one of those so that people can see, like, it'll run who's all in the class.
Yeah, and you put their little names as caption underneath. It would help you learn their names. Yeah, make that sense of community. Too often it's a revolving door with students. They don't feel like they're making an impact.
Well, in my class, they have to learn PowerPoint. One of the things you can do in PowerPoint is once you make all the slides, you can change them all into JPEGs. So once you have the JPEGs, then instead of having them go through the PowerPoint, which is really boring, have them turn their PowerPoint into an Animoto.
Yeah,
So
that's a great one.
It's a cooler way to see what they were doing with the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And then they learn 2 new things also.
And if
We'll have everybody in an online class do that as their 30-second introduction.
yeah, introduce your life, your world. Take 10 pictures and upload it. Yeah, that's a really good one. I love that. You know, so often, a lot of our students are doing internships where they're off campus, and they have this rich experience that they have no way of sharing with the rest of class. How about if they took 12 pictures while they're at their internship and then bring it back of what does their world look like? We don't do enough show and tell. We teach students in 2nd or 3rd grade, ooh, bring us and show us, and then we shut them down. We become this mill of constant sameness. So maybe we can change that up. You know, we're going to take a quick break because every hour I have to get a battery, they tell me, because we're recording today. But you know, we're trying to show you new ways to use technology. When we get back after our break, everybody, I've got a new toy. What are these? Anybody have seen them before? Google Glasses. I'm going to let a few of you try them on just to show you and how they're being used in education. But we're going to have a lot more technology coming up. Has everyone picked up some idea or pointer so far this morning? Hopefully it's well worth your time. You know, everyone's trying to push technology, but sometimes you're like, you know what? I like my paper and pen. Isn't that more efficient? It's kind of like this. There's always another way with technology, Emma. Come on, Emma.